Since Jayne Mansfield's death in a horrible car accident, she's become the focus of ghoulish obsession. Was she actually decapitated? And how did the Church of Satan fit in? Keep watching to find out. Born Vera Jane Palmer on April 19, 1933, Jayne Mansfield wanted to become a Hollywood star from a very young age, inspired by the success of her childhood hero, Shirley Temple. According to Jayne Mansfield, a biobibliography, her parents were supportive, enrolling young Jane in voice, dance, and violin lessons, while also allowing her to play the violin in their driveway for neighbors and those on the sidewalk. Not just a performer, however, Mansfield also displayed an interest in linguistics, eventually becoming fluent in 5 languages. But her youthful aspirations were temporarily derailed at the age of 16 when she met 20-year-old Paul Mansfield and subsequently became pregnant. A few mere months before she graduated high school, she married Paul, and the couple then welcomed their daughter, Jane Marie. After a stint taking drama classes at the Southern Methodist University and the University of Texas, Jane convinced her husband to move the family to Los Angeles in 1954 so she could pursue her dream of stardom. A year later, she got her big break as a Playboy Playmate of the Month, but it came at a cost. Paul filed for divorce after realizing, quote, he would always be second choice when it came to Jane's quest for fame. While some may say that Kim Kardashian or even Paris Hilton pioneered the modern wave of reality stars who were famous for being famous, one could argue that it was Jayne Mansfield who started the movement herself. According to The Hollywood Reporter, quote, if it weren't for Mansfield then, there would likely be no Kardashians today. The blonde star made her big screen Hollywood debut in 1955, appearing in 4 films, including Female Jungle. The roles were small, so according to biography, she knew she had to get the media's attention in a different way. In January of 1955, Mansfield was invited to an event for Howard Hughes' Underwater. While sporting a red bathing suit that didn't leave much to the imagination and surrounded by photographers, Mansfield jumped into the pool and, quote, had the genius to permit her bathing suit to split open. She became a sensation with the press, in part because, unlike her contemporary Marilyn Monroe, Mansfield welcomed the paparazzi with open arms. But her studio, Fox, didn't think all publicity was good publicity, so they loaned her out to other studios where she had to appear in even worse films. For her part, though, Mansfield always made a distinction between the publicity and the work.
I think a person to exist as a star is one thing, and a person to exist as an actress is another.
Jayne Mansfield built an image of a dumb blonde, but it was a careful construction, as she was actually highly intelligent. In fact, according to Jayne Mansfield, a biography, her IQ was believed to have been 163, yet she stuck to her public persona that brought in legions of fans, even when challenged directly. During an appearance on The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, for instance, the host boldly declared in front of his guest, quote, nobody with an IQ of 160 can be that stupid. Yet Mansfield remained composed, pretending she didn't understand what he meant. Occasionally, she would let things slip, such as an eloquent BBC4 interview where she explained what sex appeal meant to her.
It comes only from inside. It is nothing that's manufactured. It has nothing to do with measurements or lipstick color.
But mostly, she stuck to the role she felt she could be successful in. She revealed to BBC4 that when auditioning for Milton Lewis, the head of casting at Paramount Studios, she performed a soliloquy from Joan of Arc, but he told her she was, quote, wasting her obvious talents, meaning her looks. It was Lewis who would help mold her image into the voluptuous icon she is remembered as today. Jayne Mansfield will forever be remembered for her now legendary photo standing next to Sophia Loren, who is giving what appears to be the most judgmental side-eye in existence aimed at the sultry blonde's cleavage. As the story goes, Loren was invited to a dinner at Romanoff's restaurant in Beverly Hills. She wrote in her memoirs, Mansfield came right for my table. She knew everyone was watching. I'm staring at her nipples because I'm afraid they are about to come onto my plate. In my face you can see the fear. I'm so frightened that everything in her dress is going to blow, boom, and spill all over the table. According to Vanity Fair, the spectacle was allegedly responsible for Loren's disdain of Hollywood. Yet, as the years went on, Loren wished the moment would stay in the past, particularly after Mansfield's untimely death in 1967. She told Entertainment Weekly that whenever she's asked to sign an autograph for the photo, she refuses, quote, out of respect for Jayne Mansfield. For her own part, Mansfield always maintained that she never enjoyed such showy publicity, as she told CBC in the early 60s. As far as actually enjoying it, I don't think anyone actually enjoys it. There's a reason why the golden age of Hollywood was known for being consistently wholesome and glamorous. It simply had to be. In the mid-1930s, a set of guidelines called the Hays Code ruled over Tinseltown film studios, not allowing any on-screen nudity. This code reigned supreme until 1968, yet some actors still pushed the boundaries by the time the early 60s came along. Of course, overseas, foreign stars were already bearing all, such as French icon Brigitte Bardot's buff debut in 1956's And God Created Woman, which put her on the international map. In America, though, it was Mansfield who appeared in the first modern nude scene for a Hollywood release, going topless in 1963's Promises, Promises. According to Vulture, the blonde's career was heading towards a standstill, her studio growing impatient that her last box office success was in 1957 with Will Success Spoil Rock Hunter. Going back to the basics of what made her a breakout star originally, Mansfield did what she did best, a publicity stunt. But it backfired. Promises, Promises was a critical failure, leading only to more offers to do skin flicks. And it was also a nerve-wracking experience for Mansfield herself, who, according to Here They Are Jayne Mansfield, allegedly drank, quote, a magnum of champagne so she could get the courage to bear it all on camera. Jayne Mansfield made a career out of mimicking the blonde sex symbol stereotype put forward by fellow A-listers such as Marilyn Monroe. This similarity didn't go unnoticed by Monroe, who even wanted to sue her counterpart for copying her so much. As Lawrence J. Quirk, author of The Kennedys in Hollywood, recalled in a conversation he once had with Monroe, she snapped, "All she does is imitate me, but her imitations are an insult to her as well as to myself." But did Monroe have another reason to hate Mansfield? According to Quirk, Mansfield envied Monroe for her affair with John F. Kennedy in the mid-1950s, and by the time the next decade rolled around, she was determined to steal the spotlight yet again. With the help of JFK's brother-in-law, Peter Lawford, Mansfield embarked on her own affair with Kennedy, and when Lawford warned her to perhaps be a bit more discreet, the actors shot back. Everyone in Hollywood and Washington knows about it anyway, and I like it that way, and I'll bet Marilyn's pissed as all get out. Interestingly enough, after Marilyn Monroe's death in 1962 and the subsequent conspiracy theories that the Kennedys were involved somehow, Mansfield grew increasingly paranoid that she would meet the same fate. According to the Kennedys in Hollywood, she told her friend Jerry Asher, quote, "Maybe I'll be next." Jayne Mansfield understood that to make it in Hollywood, she had to craft a totally manufactured version of herself to stand out in the sea of wannabe A-listers. According to biography, she, quote, made pink her trademark color, and even went as far as to ensure that she would be seen in her pink car, decked out in pink clothing. However, her biggest commitment to her bubblegum lifestyle was her house, dubbed the Pink Palace. In 1958, the newly married Mansfield and Mickey Hargitay bought a mansion on Sunset Boulevard, which consisted of 25 rooms and 11 bathrooms that its new owners then repainted in pink. Mansfield also ensured that the outside would fully represent her as well, making a stone wall that encompassed the compound also in her trademark color. She also decorated her house with Cupid motifs throughout, saying, "All my life, I've dreamed of a place full of Cupids and angels and hearts." Perhaps the most elaborate add-on of the Pink Palace was the swimming pool, which Hargitay built himself into a heart shape, installing on the bottom a gold mosaic which read, "I love you, Janie." By the time the late 1960s rolled around in America, the youth of the country were rebelling against the political and religious conservatism of the 1950s, and Hollywood took notice as well, including Jayne Mansfield, who reportedly realized she needed an image makeover. Mansfield 66/67 director P. David Ebersol explained to Interview that the blonde's larger-than-life persona wasn't popular anymore, and so she yet again embarked on a quest for even more widespread publicity. Cue the Church of Satan founder, Anton LaVey. According to SF Gate, LaVey actually rejected the concept of any religion in a theological sense, yet his blend of, quote, pagan hedonism and hucksterism was enough to make him a household name in the late 60s. Mansfield and LaVey's paths crossed in 1966 after an encounter at the San Francisco Film Festival, where she ended up visiting his home as he showed off his various occult knickknacks. From there, Mansfield and LaVey were photographed together multiple times. According to History Collection, he performed a satanic ritual in his home with Mansfield in attendance, and he even visited her in her pink palace, taking photos by her unique heart-shaped pool. Although Mansfield denied ever being a Satanist, interview notes that she openly declared LaVey a genius. Jayne Mansfield died on June 29, 1967, in a car accident on Route 90 on her way to New Orleans from Biloxi, Mississippi. Mansfield was in the car with 3 of her children, as well as her companion, Samuel S. Brody, and a driver. While her kids survived, all 3 adults died instantly when the vehicle hit a truck. After Mansfield's death made headlines, an urban legend began circulating that she was decapitated in the tragedy. But this wasn't true. Jim Roberts, a mortician at a New Orleans funeral home, told the New York Times, "Her head was attached as much as mine is. People always figured wrong about Jayne, about the way she lived and the way she died." Even in death, Mansfield couldn't escape the predatory public. Her ex-husband, Mickey Hargitay, was hounded by the press, and the car she died in has become a ghoulish tourist attraction. Jayne Mansfield was mother of 5 children, and one of her kids has successfully followed in her mother's footsteps when it comes to having an A-list Hollywood career. Mariska Hargitay, daughter of Mansfield and Mickey Hargitay, is synonymous with her Law & Order Special Victims Unit character, Olivia Benson, whom she's played since 1999. Unlike her mother, Mariska has primarily stuck to the small screen, yet her face is instantly recognizable. Having survived the car accident that took her mother's life, Mariska has said she had a, quote, relatively normal childhood. Yet, as she told Glamour in 2021, the actor has spent her life dealing with the subsequent trauma. "I've spent 54 years sort of trying to figure out what happened and why, and what am I supposed to do with it?" She told James Lipton on Inside the Actors Studio that she takes comfort in religion.
I believe that there are no accidents, and I believe that God has a plan, and I have a very deep belief in God.
Nevertheless, Mariska credits her mother for instilling positive values that she's taken with her into adulthood, from being a mother to her professional career. Hargitay told Closer, "She was an inspiration. She had this appetite for life." Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more grunge videos about your favorite stars are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.